Good afternoon and welcome to Zed Decor Live. I am Naa Bia, your host, every Friday from 2 to 3 p.m. And today we have a very interesting discussion. DJ Wade, how's your week so far? It's been good, eh? Okay. All right. So DJ Wade says his week has been good, and the week at Zed, we are basically focusing on Ghana Month. The Ghana Month is still important. The Heritage Month is still important. And most importantly, I'm using importantly a lot, but most importantly, we are focusing on Women's Month. So all my guests for the entire period of March and then some are basically going to be women in craft, women artisans, women who are making a difference when it comes to the built industry. The built industry in Ghana is very critical. The homes, the offices, the pubs, everywhere that you stay in to relax or you stay to conduct business is all important. So this particular month of March, we're doing two things, focusing on Ghana Month, Heritage Month, Independence Month, we are 69, and then we're going to focus on women as well. We'll do a spot of music, we'll come back, and then we can start the show proper. Quality Ghanaian music is intentional. Everything about us is intentional, authentic. Hey, I should have worn my scarf today. Yay, I haven't tried. But anyway, you're still welcome. If you just tuned in, you're still welcome to Z 101.9 FM. This is Zed Decor Live, and this is our DIY segment. DIY is that intentional segment which discusses things that you can do for yourself. You don't really have to go and look for an artisan or a technical person. You can do to make your space look neat, clean, and functional. Underlined functional, because functional is the key word. Now, today, your DIY is you always need to have baking soda. And baking soda is a very good cleaning agent. Yes, we use it in cooking, but it's also traditionally one of the best powerhouse cleaning agents that you can have. Okay, it is one of those things that we can use to neutralize odors, and you cannot really control how people are going to use your space and also how they take care of themselves to like avoid that sweat smell. But the thing about smell is that once you have it on you or once it's in the space, if you sit down, it attaches to the sofas, it attaches to the air, and it's really bad and it's really awful, right? But baking soda is one of those that treats that. Okay. Normally we use it for tough stains and grime. So if you have a sink, for instance, your kitchen, and you have a lot of grime in the sink, it's an old sink and there's lots of grime, you just sprinkle baking soda over it overnight. When you come back in the morning, you realize that once you begin to scrub, even gently, all that grime and dirt goes away. Okay, I spoke earlier about smell. It neutralizes odors. Okay, so if once again it's good for kitchen countertops, your worktops, if you don't clean it frequently and it's stained, once you sprinkle it overnight or for a few minutes, you go and come back, you'll be able to neutralize that as well. And most importantly too, it's very eco-friendly. It's what it's made out of is not like toxic. They're very eco-friendly. So it's not one of those things that you would have in your, because we cook with it, so it's in our food as well. So it's not one of those things that you're going to use and it's going to be awful, right? And it's cheap as in penny wise. It's not expensive. You can have them, they're in different boxes, different sizes. It's not expensive. We even have people who make it in Ghana locally. So there's a local one and there's an imported one, and they both work, they both function the same. So for your DIY today on Z 101.9 FM, specifically Zed Decor Live, we're telling you to buy baking soda, use it for your sinks and your tubs, your bath tubs. Don't have green tubs. Nobody will come and visit you and want to like take a shower in your tub. It's green, awful, nasty. Don't do that. And use it to scrub your pots and your pans, and also your carpets, your fridges. Use it to clean all of that. Okay, so we'll be back and we'll discuss or start our discussion proper.
Your lifestyle, leisure, and business.
Vicentia, hey. I have a cousin called Vicentia.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, she's called Vicentia, mom. Oh, I'm serious. I have a cousin called. When I got the name, I was like, hey, I haven't called Vicentia in like 2 years. That's so awful. Vicentia, good afternoon once again and welcome to Zed Decor Live.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me on the show today.
Okay, and how are you?
I'm good. I'm doing good. By God's grace. I'm
Okay.
good.
All right. So, Vicentia and I are going to have a very interesting topic, a very interesting discussion today. We are going to talk about, well, we know that we are in the Heritage Month, and we're going to talk about using our artifacts, our what we make here, to sort of make our spaces nice. We've seen a bit of that, We've gone into our malls, we've gone into our hotels, we've gone into our offices, and some of us intentionally in our homes we have all these nice artifacts and all of that. So it's an intentional thing that we do. But today on Zed Decor Live, we want to talk about it. We want to more or less break it down from the perspective of somebody who is in that industry. Okay, so Vicentia Mensah is my guest today on Zed Decor Live, and we are going to do exactly that. Well, in tradition or in line with what we do on the show, there's a question I ask when every guest comes to make them unwind.
Okay.
What time do you wake up on a normal day, and how does your day go till you lay your head on the...
On a normal day, I wake up at 6 a.m. I wake up, do what I have to do, like brush my teeth, take my bath. Sometimes I do house chores before I do those things. And the rest of the day, I'm also a musician. I sing.
Hey, okay.
So I sometimes go for rehearsals. And if there is a show, I am in my room the whole day practicing, rehearsing till I get on the stage.
Wow. So what time do you sleep?
When I have a program, live band is something else. We close very late, and looking at where I stay, I get home around 1 a.m., 2 a.m. Yeah.
Wow. So you see, you have to be. I don't want to say the hustle has to be intense, but you really have to do a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yes, to make sure that whatever it is turns out well. Because if you don't rehearse and keep rehearsing, anyway. But I'm grateful. So today's topic, how do you understand it?
Okay. So we are talking about Ghanaian traditional artifact and modern design.
Yes.
Or modern furniture.
Yes.
So first of all, when we talk about Ghanaian traditional artifact, we are looking at physical objects that reflect the country's deep history, diverse ethnic identities, as well as craftsmanship. And so we can talk of textiles and regalia like kente cloth, ahinema sandals, ahinema pabwa, Idinkra symbols. We have metal and gold ornaments. We also have terracotta and pottery, which is simply clay sculptures, and musical instrument, fonton from talking drums, which we know as etumpan. Yeah. And then when it comes to the modern design, the modern design is a style which focuses on fine lines, clean lines, surfaces, smooth, shiny surfaces. And then it focuses on minimalism, minimal features, but then high functionality. So we have to find a way to blend these two, so the old tradition or the old traditional artifact do not get lost in the system.
You see, when you mentioned terracotta, I'm like, yes, she knows her stuff. She knows her stuff. Let me dial back this way. What happened and we lost it? It's like we grew up around it. Then all of a sudden, it's like we lost it in translation, or transition, more or less. What happened?
Okay, so in the olden days, when you go back then, you couldn't use these artifacts easily. I mean, these artifacts were not used for deco as it's used for today.
Okay.
Those days, it was object of spirituality, power, and it was regulated. Like, for instance, the kente cloth. You can't just get up and wear kente cloth to any event.
Okay.
Those times, only royalty, if you're a queen, you're a king, a princess, that is when you're allowed to wear kente cloth. And today, people use linguist stuff in their offices. It wasn't like that. You can only see linguist stuff when you see the Ochiami holding it, or you go to a palace and it's there. Yeah. So that is how it somehow got lost, or we couldn't really see it. But I mean, today things have changed.
Yeah, today things have changed. And is it also that we kind of fed into the notion that using these kind of things in our spaces doesn't make us modern? As you said, the modern aesthetic is clean lines, minimal stuff. So it's like if you go and put maybe a stool in that corner, then it spoils the aesthetic. Did we do that to ourselves? The social media boom and all of that. Did we do that to ourselves?
I think we didn't really know how to use it.
Okay.
How to balance the two.
Okay.
That is, when it comes to balancing, we are looking at focus, we are looking at contrast. I think people didn't really know about this. So let's think of it as a modern singer working with a traditional drummer. If we're going to get the best result out of these two, both do not have to do the same thing all at once. There has to be balance so that we get the best result. So I think then people didn't really know about this. They didn't really know, because every Ghanaian traditional artifact, there is a meaning. There is a how to it. And if you don't know these meanings and the hows, I mean, there's no way you're going to use it appropriately.
Okay. Let's stay on that point of knowing how to use. So is it that so whose responsibility is it? Is it the architect's responsibility? Is it the interior designer's responsibility to more or less intentionally say that, okay, this space, this hotel I'm building, you are in Ghana, it is maybe Western region, we have to insist on that? Is it the architect's responsibility, or is it the interior designer who comes on the project, who has to intentionally make sure that our story is not lost somewhere?
Okay, so just like how I said, every object has a story to it. And those who do it, those who are into this craft, they know the real meaning of what they do. So yes, I think it is their responsibility to actually teach those who are coming to them to buy. The use of adinkra symbols. We can't use adinkra symbols anyhow we want. Every symbol has a meaning. So let's say there is a library or a study, and they want to use a Ghanaian traditional artifact. And the adinkra symbols, let's take, for example, Sankofa, which the bed looking back, which means go back and get it. This symbol or this artifact will be suitable for a library or study, because you're teaching your students, you're teaching people that it is not a crime to go back to the past, to learn from the past. So it is the responsibility. If most people do not know the meanings of these symbols, or there is this instrument, kora and seprewa. Most people do not know these instruments. They do not know what they are intended for. So it is the responsibility of these artisans to teach people about this instrument and how best or how appropriate they can use it in a space or a room.
So it means, if I'm listening to you well, then it means that interior design, when it's being taught as a course in uni or MVTI or wherever, there has to be a whole course on all of that.
Yes.
On our artwork, our artifacts, what it means.
Yes.
So that apart from knowing the type of artifact, knowing what it means, then you can even know the colors.
Sure.
We
Yeah.
have a long way to go.
A very long way to we have a very long way to go.
We are just focusing on the here and now, the furniture, the carpets, the lights, the sofa, like place it here, do it here. But if we do not intentionally say, you see, that's how come the Chinese are doing so well. Because if you look at even how they put their spaces together, you always see something about their tradition.
Yeah.
You know, like this year, for instance, I think this year is the year of the horse, right? And it was a whole thing. Like,
was it like a festival?
Yes, like a whole thing. Their state media was running with it, and even from shops that sell cakes, pastries, they have the horse, like they have intentional pastries dedicated to that. But we wait till 6th March.
I mean, I am so happy that Zed is doing this in Ghana Month. This Ghana Month, all I see is people wearing Ghana jerseys, going here, going that. There's not much education on our traditional artifact. It's just about, in Ghana Month, Ghana gained independence on this day. Let's just wear something Ghana and go out. You don't even know the meaning of what you're wearing.
True.
Yeah. So we have a long way to go, as you said.
Wow. It's a whole thing. Because even I always say, wood is our thing. But it hurts me so much, and I'm in the interior design space. It hurts me so much when I walk around or someone calls you and says, okay, come and take a look at this particular project. And they don't want to hear anything wood. They don't want to see or hear anything wood. They tell you wood is so heavy. And I'm like, wood is not heavy. I don't know who lied to you people. It's not heavy. What wood does is, as it's aging, then it looks more beautiful. But wood is one of those things that if you have it as your doors, as your floors, as your ceiling, even as artwork, you would always come back to it because it won't spoil.
Yeah.
Even stone. What are your thoughts on that?
That's because they don't know how to balance. All they know is this modern design. They don't know how to balance this artifact with the modern design. So, for instance, these modern designs, they add pop, a pop of color to modern designs. I feel modern designs have more of neutral colors like charcoal gray, white, beige. But then if you know how to combine these Ghanaian traditional artifacts, kente, for example, kente is not just for wearing. You can actually get, we know kente for its vibrant colors. So you can actually get pieces of kente, frame it, and then hang it on a wall with a beige or white colored background. There is this basket called Bolga woven basket.
Yes,
Sometimes I see people going to the market with this basket, and I'm like, it is not just going to the market with it. This Bolga kente basket is very good for holding flowers, plants, magazines, even towels. So we can even use the Bolga basket in our bathrooms. Yeah, I see these metal thing in the bathroom where we hang our towels. But instead of that, if we are balancing the modern design with the Ghanaian traditional artifacts, you can have a woven Bolga basket, you hang it on your wall, you place your towel in. It even provides warmth and texture to your space. People have got to know about this. These traditional artifacts, they are also for identity. They are for storytelling. I mean, they speak for themselves when you have not even said anything about the reason why you are using it. So you walk into a space, let's say the person is a traditional musician. So instead of having a modern guitar, the person has kora or siprawa hanging on the wall. When you walk into that space, the first question that might come to mind, is this person a traditional musician? The person hasn't spoken, but then you start to have an idea of where the person is coming from, the identity of the person. Like the carved Ashanti stool. Well, the Ashanti stool, for example, stands for the soul and authority of the Ashanti people. So you walk into a space, you see that apart from you having a large desk, instead of our modern chairs, you choose an Ashanti stool around the table for people to sit on. I am going to ask you, are you from Ashanti? We are Kumasi Niana. Yes. So for storytelling, for identity, I think if people come to know about these, I mean, they will be able to blend or balance these two without creating chaos. There is this rule when it comes to Ghanaian traditional artifacts and modern design. Now, there's this rule, the 80-20 rule. So you choose a space, the bones of your room, let's say the wall, your large desk, your bedroom, your sofa. Let's use about 80% for modern design and then 20% for Ghanaian traditional artifact. Because you don't want your room to feel cluttered. You want it to feel more comfortable and warm. So the 80-20 rule, let's go with it. 80% for modern design, 20% for Ghanaian traditional artifacts. You don't want your space to look like a museum. So yeah.
If you just tuned in, this is Zed 101.9 FM. I'm not even interrupting my guest because she's saying everything I want her to say and then some. We're talking about blending or incorporating our artifacts, our Ghanaian-made artifacts, which are beautiful, which tell a story into our spaces. Yes, whilst we admit that, we are modern or we are going with the times, we mustn't lose our identity. It's very important. There's a reason why when the president wore his batakari or his fugu up in Zambia and they were making a fuss, we didn't even care where we belong to politically. We all zoomed in like, what do you people mean identity? Because we recognize that this is part of us. It's in our blood. It's our pride. So what Vicentia is essentially telling us or reminding us that we have to make sure that these things are intentionally found, curated, and added to our spaces. But Vicentia, we always, when it comes to corporates, they are afraid that these artifacts would not be on brand. It will not fit into, for instance, if I'm a telco and I enter the lobby and I see these nice stools or drums there, it wouldn't reflect my international or global brand. What do you say to that? Because that's one reason why most people, like most stylists, don't really add incorporate it in the main setup for corporate. What they do is they'll wait, maybe when there's a program or a PR or something, they go and look for it for a short period, then they remove everything again. But if I'm hearing you and understand you well, or I appreciate what you're saying, it should be from the get-go.
Yeah.
Yes. What are your thoughts on that? Like corporate and intentionally adding these artifacts from the get-go and not removing them at all.
Okay. First, we must know where to start from.
Okay.
The focal point of the whole thing.
Yes.
It is not about just getting any traditional artifact and just putting them there. You must start with a focal point.
Okay.
You want to know where to put this. That is going to be the star of your space or
Okay.
your room.
Okay.
So, like how I said, you must know the meaning.
Okay.
You must know the how to every artifact. And when so in offices, for example, you can have a large wooden panel. You carve Edinkra symbols, just that, and then you put it in a corner or a space that is going to set the mood and theme for your space. Not having a wooden panel with Edinkra symbols, then you have a wooden mask here, then you have a linguistic stuff here, then you have this here. No. You have to start with a focal point. That is going to help you to bring out the beauty, the natural attribute of the Ghanaian traditional artifact in an office space or a modern space.
Okay. And we have this thing that, or we say that these artifacts that we make here, they are expensive as compared to the mass-produced ones coming from Europe and wherever.
Okay.
How is it so?
I don't think the mass-produced ones are not really authentic, in my opinion.
Yes.
They are not really
They are
authentic.
not lying, is the truth you're saying.
And authenticity starts from the hands that made it. So, I mean, it might be expensive, all right, but it's authentic.
Yeah.
It is quality. This has to go to the community artisans, the artisans that make it. They should look at their pricing. Okay, if I know every company organization has target audience and all that, but we are not looking at corporate or people who are well-to-do, and we are also looking at the local people. Can the local people also afford these traditional artifacts? So they should pay attention to their pricing. They should price it in a way that local people can afford, international people or people from all walks of life can afford.
And also, let me pick your thoughts on this thing. We always say that the local artifacts the finish is not sharp.
That is how it is.
That's how it's supposed to be.
That is how it is.
Oh, really?
Yes. Traditional artifacts, Ghanaian traditional artifacts, they are not perfect.
Okay.
They are rough.
Okay.
And rough is not perfect. I mean,
Okay.
it's not being perfect. That is the beauty. Yeah. It is not like modern design where you have smooth surfaces, sharp lines. These artifacts are not like that. That is how they are supposed to be. Yeah. For example, you see these carved mask. You might find some
A chipped end or a cracked something.
yeah. That is how it is supposed to be. It's not something I think I went to the market the other time to buy earthenware bowl, and when I turned it over, it had a crack underneath. That is, I mean, not all earthenware bowls are sanka. Not all are like that, but you might find these mistake. No, I wouldn't call it mistakes. No, I don't want to call it. You might find these imperfections, yes, amongst these traditional artifacts. So that is how they are supposed to be. They are not perfect. They are not perfect objects. Yeah.
And you know, the funny thing is, we say the finish is not good or it doesn't look nice, but you would find an architectural digest or some magazine somewhere, and they've listed these things in there. They've given it African ethnic vintage. That's the description they've given it, and it's the same thing. But they actually like the fact that it's rough and it's crooked or it's something.
Yeah.
That for them even shows that it's original.
Yes.
It's authentic.
Yes.
But we say, no.
We should know how these artifacts are.
Yeah.
If we know how they are, then we would appreciate how these artisans craft it, they are not perfect. As compared to these modern design, they are sharp, shiny surfaces, glass. I mean, I would say perfect. The measurement and everything is perfect. It is not as perfect as these Ghanaian traditional artifacts we have. So if we know about this, I mean, we wouldn't complain about finding cracks or rough edges on these artifacts.
Let's go back to what you said earlier about clay. It's I find that industry to be intriguing, and I keep saying that we're not even exploring it the way we should. All I see is the pots of the same design, but we can have. I see potters use clay in videos, and they're making beautiful mugs, beautiful plates, like very beautiful things, but we can't find it here. Or I can hardly find them here unless they're the imported ones.
I don't understand why artisans do not produce more of these. What? I don't know whether it's because they are fragile, like they break easily. It might be the case because when you put a sculpture here, you should put it on a flat surface or a place where it's not going to be bumped into, because as soon as it falls, it breaks.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that is the reason why these artisans do not produce it like large or mass. Like they don't do mass production of these clay sculptures.
No, but because we have the clay here. That's actually what I don't even understand. We have the clay here. Okay, we have the clay here, or it is right here with us. And it's one of those resources that if we're doing it well, we could even import it. It could earn us so much.
Yes.
Because even the pots are not even earning us that much, or we're not even exporting or doing so much with it.
Yeah.
I don't even know what question I'm asking you. Because it really bothers me that we have all this clay here and we're not using it for anything. Because you are designing a space and you see a particular corner, the corner is empty, and you just know that if you had something
like a clay sculpture,
something unique, you could put it there. Or you're working in an office, and you're like, this office, if we put the word that you use to anchor, like to make sure that like the focal point, you're looking for something. You can only see the thing online. You come on a video and like, but this is what I'm looking for. And you roam the whole of Accra or Ghana. You're like,
you're not getting it.
You're not getting it. It makes furnishing or makes decor a bit like worrisome when you are decorating. You can hardly find what you are looking for here. But we have the materials. We can do it.
We can actually get these clay sculptures and all that, but it has to do with how we source these traditional artifacts. People are importing artifacts like this. They are not authentic. They are not natural as compared to the traditional artifacts we have. So we should go directly to the villages, the communities that are known for making this craft in order to get them. Like Bonri, known for weaving kente, Ashia, known for wood carvings. If you want to get beads, like authentic beads, you go to Bono and all that. So I think when we learn about sourcing, getting it from the direct source, I think that is going to also help a lot.
But those people, are they like, I fear that because we are not using them a lot, or the demand, I don't know, but I feel that the demand
is not that high.
It's not that high. So it's like people, growing up, we knew that there were master carvers, there were master weavers, and it was a whole thing. My great-grandfather, my grandfather, my father is, my uncle is. But these days, it's not a family thing anymore. It's like now, oh, we don't do these things anymore. So sometimes I feel like that the art is being lost. The tradition is not like transcending or going, because if it was, as the times are, if we did certain things in 1998, in 2026 we'd have developed new things, because we'd have kept like experimenting and trying, but it's like we're just there, as you said, we're waiting for Sith March, then we come in and wear jersey.
Ghanaians, we have to promote what we have. We have to cherish what we have. The more we cherish, the more these community artisans are able to produce it. We don't have to wait till Ghana month or Seth March to use these artifacts. We have to make it part of our everyday living. Like for example, Asanka, earthenware bowl. I mean, we use, growing up, I saw my mom grinding pepper in it. Then later on, I came to learn, oh, you can serve local dishes in Asanka. So instead of using these modern bowls and plates to serve, we can actually opt for something like this to serve. As we are growing, we see these kind of things. It becomes an inspiration to us to also learn how it is done. Yeah. So in this way, let's say I see my mom serving guests. Instead of the modern bowls, I see her serving guests with earthenware bowl. I mean, I would just be curious. How was this made? How was this done? Then I ask her, then she tells me, then she takes me to a place where they produce Asanka. And I get fascinated. I want to learn. So if we are able to do this, I think it is going to inspire not just the present generation, but the future generation to also get into these traditional crafts.
But I think the hotels have tried, though. For them, they have tried.
Yeah, they have.
If I can, let me just say, African Regent has been very intentional on that, because they from the time you enter the main lobby all the way, you see everything. I think the hotels have tried. They've intentionally curated with wood, with artifacts, with the kente, and I think Parliament House too.
Yeah.
When you look behind the speaker, that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
The big, beautiful kente.
They have the kente. Yeah, I've seen that as well.
I think they've tried. They've tried. So, because it's good, because if at least these places we go in to relax, or we go in to pay attention to what they are doing in terms of the politics and all, and the camera zooms in and we see the kente, I think it's also helpful.
Yeah.
Like the Jubilee House too. Yeah. When you look around, you see the Dinkra symbols that you're saying, painted on the walls and all of that, and the wood paneling. Yes. So it's also a good thing. Okay. There's a question here that I don't know how you answered, but I think you've already answered. But let me ask again. It said, can cultural decor influence customer perception or how they engage in a space?
Please, your question again.
Okay. So, can cultural decor, right, can it influence customer perception? Can cultural decor influence customer perception and how they engage in a space? Let me just break it down, bro. What the question is trying to ask is, so all these are our pubs, our diners, our restaurants. Are you saying that if we have a lot of these decor pieces and all, it makes them engage in the space a bit more as compared to maybe you're focusing just on the ambience, the lights, but if we have these things around us, will you get more customers?
Yes. Now, when you use these artifacts, you are sending out information.
Okay.
You are actually educating people. I say these artifacts are like silent teachers.
Okay.
They speak for themselves. So in a library, in a study, you have an Eden cross symbol, like you were wearing a fabric, and then you have these symbols imprinted on them. Eventually, people would want to know the reason behind these symbols. Why is this symbol there? Why are you using this? Why are you using that? And so many people, I mean, when tourists come into the country, for example, I said earlier on, they get fascinated by these. Some even go as far as traveling to these artisan communities just to know how they are done and all that. So in a space like that, you are telling people that our heritage is not forgotten. We are still rooted in our culture. And even though modern is good, you can still adopt these artifacts and and I mean and live with it as we want. Hello.
Let's do a quick music break and we would come back. So we are going out of what we do normally to just ensure that you have a relaxed energy before the weekend starts. So I'm back with my guests, and it's almost time for us to wrap up. So under 3 minutes, technically, I'm going to leave her, and she would more or less give us an exhortation of what she sees, an overview of what she feels that we should do going forward. She's definitely going to come back because the month hasn't ended, and us at Zed Decor Live, we are still focused intentionally on women in crafts, women artisans, or women who are making a difference in the built or construction space. Okay, so Vicentia.
Okay. So what I would like to say is using Ghanaian traditional artifact. Using them, it's like planting a culture flag, telling people what you value, where your heart is, your identity. We are able to connect generations. I mean, in a world where there are high-tech gadgets, fast internet, using these artifacts is like bridging a gap between the old and new. We are telling our generation that our roots, our heritage are still deep, and then they're still very important. So let's encourage using traditional artifacts in our everyday space, whether your living room, your bedroom, your office, your reception area. I mean, we want our ancient skills to be kept alive, and using these artifacts will help us to preserve our ancient skills.
Okay, and if I can chip in before we end proper, you also feel that, not that you feel, you're strongly insisting that for interior design schools we must teach these things.
Yes,
it's part of it. So
yes.
wherever we go, we know that if I'm designing a space, this has to be part of it.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So thank you, Vicentia, for joining us today on Zed Decor
Thanks
Live.
for having
You are
me.
going to come back. You owe me
Okay.
that. So if you just tuned in, well, the show is live, but it's ended now. But it's available on our Facebook page and YouTube as well. It's repeated on Sundays, or this particular Sunday at 5 p.m. But the discussion hasn't ended. You have to ensure that in your space you have a bit of Ghana in, right? It's not just about the jersey. It's about the colors, yes, but also about the artifacts, the craft. And we do so much here, from rugs to paint to artwork. You find them littered across the country in various communities, in various shops. And if you claim you cannot find, you go online and let someone make something unique and Ghanaian for you. You deserve to have a piece of your history or a piece of your identity. All right. So don't tune off Z 101.9. There are so many programs as well. We have Highway 1019, which is about to start right after this. And we have lots and lots of shows this weekend as well. All right. So I'll see you next Friday for another discussion on Zed Decor Live. Have a good weekend and stay safe. That's very important. Bye.